Hello and welcome. Are you ready to unlock the true power of artificial intelligence? Whether you're a curious beginner, a developer looking to enhance your AI applications, or a content creator aiming for new heights, you've come to the right place. In today's rapidly evolving digital landscape, AI is more than just a buzzword. It's a transformative technology. But to harness its full potential, we need to learn how to communicate with it effectively. That's where prompt engineering comes in. It's the art and science of crafting inputs, the prompts that guide the AI model to produce desired, accurate, and contextually relevant outputs. Think of it as the learning of language of AI. Why is it so important? Well, the quality of your prompts directly impacts the quality of the AI's response. A vague prompt leads to a vague answer, but a well-crafted prompt, now that can unlock incredible creativity, insightful analysis, and efficient problem solving. In this tutorial, we'll explore best practices from leading AI organizations like Anthropic, Google, and OpenAI, and delve into innovative concepts from platforms like Parahelp. We're going on a comprehensive journey together. We'll start with the fundamentals, understand the different types of prompts. Those are system prompts that shape the AI's persona, developer prompts that fine-tune its operation, and user prompts that make direct requests. We'll explore how these interact using a unique concept called the complicated pie. Then we'll dive into core principles and advanced techniques from conditional logic and iterative refinement to designing prompts that are both functional and empathetic. We'll look at real-world examples and case studies to see these concepts in action. This tutorial is designed for everyone. We'll ensure clarity for newcomers while offering depth for those looking to push the boundaries of AI interaction. By the end of this tutorial, you'll not only understand what prompt engineering is, but also how to apply it effectively to get the most out of any AI model. We'll cover everything from crafting the perfect word-for-word script for your own AI interactions to optimizing your content for discoverability. We respect your learning journey and are genuinely excited to guide you through this fascinating field. So grab a notepad, open your mind, and let's embark on this prompt engineering odyssey together. Your adventure into mastering AI communication starts now. In this module, we're laying the groundwork by dissecting the three fundamental types of prompt that make AI system tick: the system prompt, user prompts, and a crucial intermediary, the developer. First up, system prompts. Think of system prompt as the AI's core programming or its job description. It's a set of high-level instruction, typically defined by the developer of an AI application, that shapes the AI's overall behavior, personality, expertise, and constraint across all interactions. For instance, a system prompt might tell an AI, "You are a witty and helpful tour guide specializing in historical European cities. Always provide factual information and suggest 3 unique local experiences. Do not discuss politics." This prompt sets the AI's tone, its knowledge domain, and its boundaries. Anthropic refers to this as giving the AI a role with improved performance. Next, we have user prompts. These are what you, the end user, directly type into AI to ask a question or a request. User prompts are dynamic and change with each interaction. Following our travel guide example, a user prompt might be, "What are the must-see ancient ruins in Rome? And can you suggest a family-friendly restaurant near the Colosseum?" The AI's response to this user prompt will be heavily influenced by the underlying system prompt. It will answer a witty historical travel guide. Google's Gemini documentation highlights that a user input is a required part of the prompt, which can be a question, a task, or even partial input for the model to complete. Now let's introduce a critical, often less visible layer, the developer prompts. These aren't always explicitly named as such in all documentation, but they represent the instructions and configurations that developers embed within the AI application's architecture. They act as a bridge, refining how the system prompt is applied or how user prompts are processed and augmented before or after the AI model sees them. For instance, when a developer builds an application using AI's model API, they craft prompts that include not just the user's query, but also specific instructions for AI's operation within the application framework. This could include setting parameters, in the sense specifying model parameters like temperature for creativity or max tokens for the response length. It could also include providing additional context relevant to the user's query, perhaps retrieved from a database or a previous part of a conversation to help the AI generate a more informed response. Amazon Q Developer, for example, uses context from open files in an IDE or a project workspace index. You could also structure the prompt with specific separators like delimiters, as OpenAI suggests, or XML tags, a technique Anthropic finds effective to clearly delineate instructions from user input or context data. And finally, you could use it for tool use and function calling as an instruction to the AI to use external tools or functions, for example, to fetch real-time information or perform calculation, and then integrate that back to the respond. And it could also be used for pre-compute or pre-analysis. Like sometimes a developer prompt might instruct an AI to perform an intermediate step like summarizing a large document provided by the user before attempting to answer a specific question about it. These developer level prompts are crucial for building robust and sophisticated AI applications. They ensure the AI operates effectively, safely, and in alignment with others' application-specific goals, often working invisibly to the end user, but shaping their experience significantly. They might also involve prompt leaking considerations, where developers must be careful about sensitive, including understanding the distinct roles and interplay of system, developer, and user prompts is the first giant step in mastering prompt engineering. System prompt sets the stage, developer prompt fine-tune the performance and integrate with the application's logic, and user prompts drive the specific information. In our next module, we'll introduce a visual metaphor, the complicated pie, to help you see exactly how these three prompts. So far we've learned about three key prompt types: system, developer, and user prompts. Now let's visualize how they fit together using a concept we're calling the complicated pie. Imagine a pie, but not just any pie, a multi-layer, complicated one that represents the AI decision-making process. The very base, the crust, and the largest foundational layer of this pie is the system prompt. As we discussed, this layer defines the AI's core identity, its fundamental rules, its persona, and its overarching behavioral guidelines. It's always there, influencing every slice, every interaction. For instance, a system prompt like "you are a concise and factual scientific assistant," all responses must be based on peer-reviewed data, forms this unshakable base. The next layer, sitting on top of the system prompt, is the developer prompt layer. This represents the instruction, configurations, and contextual information that the developer builds into the AI system. This layer takes the general persona from the system prompt and fine-tunes it to specific application. It might involve setting API parameters like temperature for creativity, on instructing the AI on how to format its output. Example could be JSON or any specific XML tags, as Anthropic suggests, or telling it to use external tools to fetch live data before answering. If the AI is part of a larger work, steps ensuring that AI's capabilities are correctly channeled within the application's design. Finally, the topmost layer, often the most visible and dynamic, is the user prompt. This is a specific question you ask or the task you request in the moment. Could be summarized as research paper on quantum entanglement, or write a Python script to analyze this dataset. This user prompt is the immediate trigger for AI's response. Here's how the complicated pie works in Harmony. The system prompt establishes the AI's baseline behavior, example, be a factual science AI. Then the developer prompt adds application-specific instruction, example, format your answer in bullet points, keep it under 200 words, and if the user asks a biological process, first define key terms. This layer might also interject relevant contextual data or example. It doesn't just see the user's question in isolation. It interprets it based on its core persona from the system prompt, and then the specific operational rules and context provided by the developer prompts. The final output is a blend complicated pie shared by these layers. And to kind of think why the complicated pie metaphor is useful, it kind of helps us understand the effective prompt engineering, especially when building or deeply customizing AI tools. It isn't just about the user's input, it's about architecting all these three layers thoughtfully. If an AI isn't behaving as expected, the issue might be in the system prompt's definition, the developer's embedded instruction, or indeed the user's query. Debugging and refinement often involve looking at all of these three layers. Having laid the foundational principles, we now ascend to the next level, mastering specific best practices from leading AI developers and exploring advanced prompting techniques that can unlock even more nuanced and powerful AI responses. While core principles are universal, different AI models can have slight preferences. For instance, OpenAI suggests putting instructions at the beginning of the prompt and using hashtags or commas to separate instructions from context. This helps the model clearly distinguish between what it needs to do, and the data it needs to do with. They also recommend reducing fluffy or imprecise descriptions and using leading words to nudge code generation in the right direction, like starting a Python code prompt with import. Anthropic for their Claude models and found that XML tags can be highly effective for structuring prompts and delineating different parts of the input, such as document to summarize or user questions in the tags. For Claude 4, they also emphasize being explicit with instructions. If you want exceptional output, you often need to ask for it directly, for example, by saying go beyond the basics to create fully featured implement. Google AI guidelines for models like Gemini stress setting clear goals, defining the desired output format, example, write a bullet list, and specify the target audience from the outset. They also highlight the importance of providing context and background information, including relevant facts or referencing specific documents to ground the AI's responses. For longer prompts, OpenAI suggests placing key instructions at both the beginning and the end to kind of reinforce them. To give you a clearer picture, here's a comparative look at some of these best practices from our key sources. Do you notice the overlaps and the unique suggestions? Now let's explore some powerful advanced techniques. These can significantly elevate the quality and sophistication of your AI interactions. For complex tasks that require reasoning, simply asking for the answer might not be enough. COT, or chain of thought, prompting involves instructing the AI to think step by step, or to explain its reasoning. Before giving the final answer, Anthropic calls this let Claude think. This forces the model to break down the problem, often leading to more accurate results, especially in arithmetic and common sense reasoning. Also for symbolic and reasoning tasks as well. Parahelp emphasizes the use of conditional logic, like if-then statements, to create more dynamic and personalized AI responses. You can structure prompts using conditions, like if the user asks for a beginner explanation, then provide a simple analogy, else if the user asks for an specific criteria or user inputs. This allows for more adaptive and context-aware interactions. We have touched on iteration previously, but it's worth emphasizing as an advance involves continuously testing and refining your prompts based on the AI outputs. A key idea here, inspired by Parahelp's ethos and concepts like empathetic AI prompting, is to treat the AI as a collaborator. If the AI gives a suboptimal answer, maybe try to understand why it might have interpreted your prompt that way. Was your prompt ambiguous? Did it lack crucial context? By empathizing with the AI's misinterpretation, you can make more effective refinements. This is more than just a trial and error. It's a systematic process of diagnostic and improving your communication with the AI. Building on this idea of empathetic interaction, consider the design philosophy of your prompts. Wire prompts, these are like blueprints, direct, factual, and focused on getting a specific functional task done efficiently. They prioritize clarity and correctness of information or action. An example could be like, hey, extract all the email addresses from the following text. These are more like textured fabric. They aim to get a particular style, tone, emotion, or a more nuanced human-like interaction. They consider the how much as the what. Example, you're a compassionate support agent. A user is frustrated because their software just crashed. Respond with empathy, acknowledge their frustration, and gently guide them through the basic troubleshooting steps. Ensure they're feeling heard and supported. While wire prompts are essential for many tasks, cloth prompts become crucial when the AI's interaction style, creativity, or emotional resonance is important. The distinction encourages a more thoughtful approach to prompt design, aligning the prompt's nature with the desired outcome and user experience. This isn't about making the AI sentient, but about designing interactions that are more effective and appropriate for the context. Google's researchers also highlight other sophisticated methods. The first one is the step back prompting. It's like asking a broad, high level question to get the general facts before asking the more specific questions. The answer to the broad question is then fed as context to the main task. Then there's react, which is just the short form of reason and act. So essentially you're combining reasoning with the ability to use external tools like search or code execution within a loop. In this module, we'll showcase how system, developer, and user prompts work together in a practical application and explore diverse case studies. I want you guys to imagine a sophisticated customer support agent for an e-commerce company, and just wanted to show how the different layers would work together. So this system prompt set by the company developing support Sparky, it kind of defines its persona, which is friendly, patient, and efficient. It also defines its knowledge base, which is like the order history and the FAQs, and addresses its limitations that it won't give direct refunds, and also has escalation protocols. This is the chatbot's unchanging job description. The developer prompt here enriches the user's simple query with crucial data, which is like in this case order details and the current date, and specific instructions on how to process it. It guides the AI to use the provided context effectively. The model parameters like temperature would also be set here by the developer to ensure consistent factual response. And finally, the user prompt. This is where the customer directly interacts with the system saying, hey, my order didn't arrive. Notice how the response is friendly and patient from the system prompt and uses the specific order details from the developer prompt and addresses the user's concern, which is the user prompt. And it kind of offers irrelevant next steps given by the system and developer instructions. This is the complicated pie in action, each layer contributing to a helpful and contextually aware output. This makes the abstract concept of prompt layers concrete. Let's look at a few more examples of how applying prompt engineering principles and techniques can dramatically improve AI outputs across different tasks. With the vague prompt that we feed in initially, we get a poor output from AI which just says coffee is good, drink coffee, best coffee. But afterwards, by adding a role, specific details about the brand and audience, and even a few short examples of the desired slogan style, it's not content, but the AI produces far more relevant and creative results. And another case study for technical problem solving, SQL query generation for specific. The first prompt was super vague, which just said write the SQL for active users, and the initial output that we got was potentially incorrect or incomplete because it's too simple and assumes the table and column name. But afterwards, when we kind of refined the prompt by providing the database schema and a clear multi-conditional definition of active users along with the chain of thought queue, it kind of enables the AI to generate the complex query correctly. These examples show the transformative power of thoughtful prompt engineering. By applying the techniques we're learning, you can guide AI to become a more powerful and reliable tool. Next, I'm going to pulling back the curtains on some seriously advanced prompt design. Thanks to the insights shared by the team at Parahelp. If you're fascinated by how to truly build a capable AI system, this one's for you. Their goal? Get AI to fully resolve customer tickets. And a huge part of this is crafting incredibly detailed prompts. They shared 2 key examples that show their approach. Let's break them down super high level. First up, Parahelp has a planning prompt. Imagine you need AI to figure out the steps to solve a problem. This prompt tells another AI how to create that step-by-step plan. The AI planner uses special instructions, including the if-then style logic, to decide what to do based on different situations. For instance, if the help center has an answer, then reply it. If not, then try something else. The big idea here, it's a structured way to get an AI to think ahead and create flexible plans, especially when it doesn't have all the information up front or needs to use different tools. Next, they have the manager prompt. This is really cool. It's for an AI that acts as a manager, supervising other AI agents. The AI manager's job is to check if agents' proposed action, like using a specific tool or sending a reply, are correct and following all company rules and policies. If everything looks good, it approves. If not, it rejects and tells the agent why and what to fix. This shows how Parahelp uses prompt to create a system for checks and balances, ensuring their AI agent performs tasks and correctly and most importantly safely. So what does this all mean? Parahelp isn't just writing simple questions, they're designing sophisticated instruction set, almost like mini programs for their AI, but in English. They use clear structures, define specific roles for their AIs, like a planner or a manager, and rely on conditional logic. It's this detailed system level approach to prompt design, combined with tons of testing, that allowed them to build such capable AI customer support. It's a glimpse into future of how complex AI systems. Thank you for joining us on this prompt engineering adventure. We hope this tutorial has empowered you and sparked your excitement for what's possible. Experiment, create, and continue to learn. The future of AI interaction is in your hands. Thank you.